Alright, yo, so this is going to be similar to my last video, and if you watch that then you know what I mean. It's just going to be a little bit lower production, lower editing, but that source, simple, just source. So that video I made because somebody asked for me to do a video on, what did they ask for? Oh yeah, of course, they asked for entry models. So on that video that I made for someone on entry models, somebody also asked me about accuracy zones. So this is going to be a much shorter one because there isn't like the most to talk about, but I just thought I'd explain the basics of accuracy zones and why we use them, because I feel like you should know what it is that you are using and mainly that why you are using it. Because if you don't know what you're using or why, then it's gonna seem not too important. So there's gonna be things that you start skimping out on, like psychology wise maybe, or it's mainly about the technicals. So rambling done, let's go into the first example, which you will all know because this is a normal demand zone before I get into the accuracies. So here, it's just the UK 100 that I'm actually in right now. So this video will probably come out tomorrow on the Friday. If it doesn't, ignore this. But you'll see what's going on with this trade. I'm not too sure what will be going on. Obviously that's in the future. But we're just focused on the zones for this video. We're not focused on entries. We're not focused on structure. I'll do a video on structure, probably next video actually, that's a good idea. But we're all about this zone. So we see, well, I'll talk about structure for a second. We see higher lows made and a higher high broken. Well, a higher high made because this high was broken. And continuing market structure upwards. The liquidity's formed. I guess you know this strategy. If not, Mango's got a video that I've plugged a lot, but I'll leave that down below because that is just free source. And this bearish candle will be our zone because it's untapped. You know, none of these wicks have entered into it because that would make it invalid. It is just the most basic looking zone I can really bring an example to. Entry was on close, you know, everything just like that. So that is the first type of zone. You all would know this if you trade supply and demand. Even if you're trading Doyle supply and demand, this is just the basic. The basicest of the basics. Now, let me go into an accuracy zone and what makes an accuracy zone an accuracy zone. I have to find one first though. I do like doing these unplanned videos, but it is a bit aid sometimes. Alright, yeah, wow, that was not hard. We have two examples here over on AN. So yeah, this was another example of a regular one before we get into the other. This was a loss, but I mean, the zone and the liquidity and how we broke the liquidity's highs, it is all so preferable. So I'll just chuck it in now. This isn't considered retapping our zone because it is the candle after and it closed bullish. If it closed bearish, even if it closed outside of zone, then that would exclude the zone. But once again, I'm sure that is all described over in Ardy's Discord, which is down below, or in that Mango video. So you already know, in Doyle strategy, this wouldn't be considered high probability anymore since this wick re-entered. But this isn't Doyle strategy anymore. We're into bigger and better things with this liquidity supply and demand. And I think that's a great segue to accuracy zones. So literally just behind it, we have an accuracy zone here. Now, if you're not used to these, you're probably looking at it and being like, why is it not marked out from the body or from the wick, from the top wick? And that is because, and I'll give the definition real quick. An accuracy zone is a zone where the top wick on the zone, actual zone candle is larger than the candle after. So that would be the top wick on a demand and the bottom wick of a supply. That's hard to understand, so let's visualize that real quick. This isn't marked out correctly, and that is because this wick up here is, I mean, higher than this wick down here, is it not? So we mark it from body, and that is what we call an accuracy zone. So let me draw that out. That'll be down here. I'll go through some more examples, and I'll also do like a supply in case you don't understand it yet, because starting off I found it very hard to understand them. But go through back testing, watch some webinars over on Ardy's Discord, and you will get the hang of it very quick. It took me about a couple weeks, and then I was, you know, like clocking accuracy zones just from visuals. But let's go to the example before. This is a supply. Wow, it's like I got it set up. So yeah, we're downwards trending. This was actually a winner. Downwards trending, everything like that, before we broke to the upside and got this win. So we're looking for sells at this point. And if I was marking out the zone normally, then it would be all the way down here. Now this is a very big zone, and let's go into a bit of the fundamentals quickly. A lot of people would be getting in at this zone. So what would make investors be getting a better price than regular retail traders? That is why banks and institutions look for, accuracy zones or niche prices where not as many people are going to be getting that price. So this bottom wick, so for us applies the bottom wick, this bottom wick is larger than the candle after, so the zone wick is larger than the candle after. So we mark it out from body, and then look how there's no longer a closing zone, because with this strategy a closing zone is invalid. So no closing zone, enter on close of candle for this. You know, flip isn't valid. If you saw my last video, it's just way too close, and just ride it out to the 1 to 3, simple as, to be honest. And as far as accuracy zones, you know, like the very basics of it, this is all there really is to say. If there is any more questions, you know, if you didn't understand my description or anything like that, I mean, Ardi's described it 10 times better in all of his webinars. So, well, not every single one, because he goes over a lot in those. So go and join up that down below. But if you really do just want to ask me, then comment down below or send me a DM over on my Instagram, argo.money. That'll be in the description. And I know it's been a short one. Sorry that it's been a short one, but I'm not sorry, because this is source. And I don't need to be monetizing off of you guys. You feel me? Like, this is just source, and I'm just making this shit for source purposes. Cool. See you later. Love you. Join up the Discord. Join up the